let me
compared
let me
to-
start with
to those that are here?
let me start with the fact that's less known
Yeah, yeah,
by all of us.
yeah.
There is something called the commodity-based trading mechanism, which the Ministry of Agriculture has instituted. What that allows us to do is sell product from the abattoirs in the NCA area off the bone anywhere in Namibia.
Yeah.
So chances are that many of us are eating products from those abattoirs already. It's not a fact that is widely known.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know. But reality is the products can move under that protocol, that arrangement anyway.
Okay.
The second one, and directly to your question, when we had started exporting to countries such as Ghana, DRC, and the rest of the continent, those are the abattoirs that are supplying product into those markets.
Yeah.
Those abattoirs can also supply into the Middle East because the requirements for export to those markets is radically different from what the EU and the other markets would demand.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also are able to export into South Africa as part of the rest of the continent. Where Midco stands to gain a lot more traction into the rest of the continent is to take advantage of the opportunities under the Africa Free Trade, Continental Free Trade Area, because it now means that our product can move across the continent duty-free, which means that the price will be competitive to anything that is offered in markets across the continent. And that actually is the next step. You might have seen us announce late last year movement of hides
Yeah.
from here into Kenya to a client where, on an experimental basis, we want to see to what extent can we expand the value chain of value addition in the fact that we have a tannery, and at present that tannery only produces what's called wet blue, and that's the unfinished product that then goes around the world. At the moment it goes as far as Italy and some other markets, but our intention is on the continent to explore extension of the value chain. If we can't do finished product in Namibia, we should be able to do it with a neighboring or a fellow continental operator and sell those products as made in Namibia.
Okay.
That's so. In a nutshell, NCA products are not stuck in the NCA only.
Yeah.
They have access to a whole range of markets. The only markets that they can't access at the present
Yeah.
would be North America, EU, and China, the markets to which Namibia sells internationally.
Yeah, yeah. In a hypothetical world, if everything was put in place and the red line is done away with, maybe by moving the fence towards the border with Angola or whatever mechanisms are put in place eventually, but it's removed, what will that do to Midco as a business entity?
I think the focus is on what is, and I can only speak to what is. The future I can't foretell, but what I know for certain, and I've spoken about one mechanism that is already in place to allow products from the producers north of the red line to move anywhere in the country, and that's the commodity-based trading arrangement. That's a specific domestic arrangement that allows us as Midco, and by the way, we are the only ones that have abattoirs north of the red line. So as a national operator, in that context, we can already move product where we desire. Secondly, one of the areas we're exploring is to reopen the canning factory. What the cannery allows us to do is to procure animals that are not necessarily slaughter ready for export market purposes, but we can procure any type of livestock, process it, and that product can go anywhere in the world. Because once you have processed it and it's canned, it's secure for consumption around the world. That is things that are within the purview of Midco, and those are things we should be able to do to ensure that the producers north of the red line, or the products from there, are exported globally. The third area where government, in its wisdom, when the Rundu Abattoir was constructed, had already made provision for is a slaughter line for small stock. And it is possible, we used to have a small stock abattoir also here in Windhoek, that it's a market that we could potentially re-enter. It's provided for by the Act, it's provided for in terms of the capability of our operational facilities. But that's the type of thing that I think we should be focusing our energy on. The red line being there or not is neither here nor there for us, because reality is we have to service the producers today, and we have to service all producers north and south of the red line equally.
The problem is massive. Currently, the waiting list is standing at 400. I don't have the figures right at Dagberg School, and I don't have the figures for Morrison. But the situation isn't good at all. I mean, it's just 3 schools, 2 in Windhoek and 1 in Naloa. So when kids from the south or from the far north need space, they usually come to Windhoek. They're usually seeking accommodation as well, hostel facilities, and we cannot accommodate that. So it's the situation is actually bad, Because our school right now, there's just 200 learners, 240 learners. That's what the school caters to, and because of their challenges and their abilities, the teacher to learner ratio is just 1 to 10. So I've just got 10 learners in my class, and it feels like I've got 100. They keep me on my toes, but I just love them so much. Yeah.
Okay, tell us about what you are busy with now in terms of the marathon, and what will come after that. What's next?
So we have the registration for the marathon is closing on Monday for those that wish to register.
Coming Monday?
This coming Monday.
Oof, okay.
Yes, the 2nd of March. So we're busy finalizing the registrations, the logistics, the technical part. It's going to be a very well sanctioned and safe marathon where everyone is going to get a t-shirt, everyone is going to get a participant medal, and there'll be timing chips for the bibs as well. So it will be a very professional marathon. That's what we are busy with. And after that, be ready to see the Dagberg running team in all the marathons that will be taking place this year. I know the first one that will be attending will be the Sanlam Aliens Marathon, the 25th of April. So if you see us there, please give us a shout out.
That's barely a month after your marathon.
Okay.
But your marathon should prepare your runners, I guess.
They're always prepared.
Oh, wow.
So that's the way ahead. We are gearing up, definitely.
Can you share with us maybe 1 or 2 personal highlights that stand out from you, memories from your teaching work with your learners?
With my teaching work, so my learners, they've been with me for 3 years now, and so now they moved to a bigger classroom, and every day in the afternoon they'll come to me, Miss, I miss you so much, can I come back? And I'm like, no, you can't come back, you need to go to the big class. And another memory is when we went to Swakopmund last year, specifically with the running team for the Bafmoes Marathon. And a learner of mine went by the ocean, and she came to me, Miss, why is the water so salty? And it dawned to me that she's never been to the coast, she's never seen the ocean or the sea, and that was just a beautiful moment. And that's one of the another benefit for this running team. We travel with them, they get to see the world, they get to experience new things. So that was I was like, yes, the sea, it is salty, and I was just like, I can't drink it, it's salty. So every day is just it's a learning curve. Every day is different for these learners. Definitely.
The work you are doing is wonderful, Ms. Matthews. What would you like Namibians in general who are watching and might be inspired, what can they do? Apart from now signing up before Monday.
Sign up. Sign up for the marathon, and let's expand our knowledge. let's not be scared of the word disability.
Yes.
They are us, they are Namibians. We are all Namibians. Their brain is wired differently, but it doesn't mean that we should be afraid of them, or we should treat them differently, or we should be impatient. And people usually again have this misconception that, well, maybe they're just not trying too hard, maybe they must just study, maybe they must just read more. But unfortunately, it's just the way the brain is wired. You can't force someone to do something if they're incapable of
Yes.
doing it. Yeah. So don't look down on them and say, oh, you are slow, you are stupid, you believe you need to be in the mental hospital. No. So we need to move away from all those negative labels and just look at them that you and me, we are Namibians, we are Namibian
And they-
citizens.
Well, first, these letters and the emails were sent on the 19th of February. Both the letters and the emails, and we have not received any response from that. So we are still waiting, because our expectations is that the government, we are really pleading with the government, that the government will intervene in this issue so that we may know where we stand. Initially, we had our fellow refugees who were Angolans. They were here, but time came whereby Angolans were repatriated, and those who remained here, they were, with dignity and love, they were given proper documents to start life. But here we are still people of concern to the UNHCR. We have been exempted from receiving marriage money. We have been exempted from the verification process. We wonder, where do we stand? What is our status? And we are recognized refugees. Where do we stand at? What is our status now? We really need the government to come out and help us in this regard, because once you are exempted by the UNHCR, it means you become even more vulnerable, because here you do not have any food support. Here you don't have any financial support. What can a person do? So we are really pleading with the government to come to our rescue, because as for now, we do not know where we stand. We do not know where we stand. We are really pleading with the government of Namibia.
Yes. Mr. Fande, you've also touched on one aspect, especially with how long you've lived here in Namibia as a refugee, and you've mentioned that it has been more than 15 years.
I came here in 2008.
Yes, but yeah, which is quite it's quite a long time, if you might. But just to go back to 2008, up to date.
Yes.
How has that process been like? I mean, clearly you've seen a lot.
Yes.
You've seen people come, you've seen people go.
Yes.
How close has the UN been with you guys? Is there someone that you guys have been consistently communicating with? Because obviously, as much as you guys want to give out these letters, there has to be inspections that have to be done every now and then by the institution, or by rather the organization.
Yes.
But in all these years, especially for a man like you who has been in the country for over 10 years, hasn't there been anyone that you guys have been consistently communicating with, especially given the fact that you guys are sitting with this issue now?
We have been communicating to the UNHCR office, but they have not been given us profound answers in regard to this. Their answer is that no, if you did not receive if you did not receive, food parcel in 2024, then you are not eligible. That is the criteria, which is not, by the way. The criteria is so very clear. So we have always been, telling the UNHCR, but they have not been, coming for us, to rescue us in this regard. We have also been speaking to the government in regard to this. We have sent these letters, but we have not gotten any response. So our situation is bad, and we really need assistance in this regard. And the situation, if I can just talk about the situation in Osira refugee camp, it is bad because people are suffering. People are suffering. People are starving. And you know, hunger, let me just make it clear, hunger is as bad as death. Yes.
I mean, you spoke on the issue of hunger.
Yes.
I mean, and you've been in the country for quite some time.
Yes.
Has that been an issue that has been there since your time here in Namibia, or has it only gotten worse ever since you guys have faced this issue with the cash method payment?
It has gotten worse of recent when the UNHCR replaced the food parcel with the Maris money. But all along, there was no hunger. But after they changed the system that people will not be receiving food parcels and they will be receiving money, that's where everything went haywire. Now, this is the issue here. When there's this thing that the UNHCR is always telling us that we have no many donors, there's little funds. But if I can recall, in the month of July last year, we were given mats and blankets by the same UNHCR. During that time when they called us to receive mats and blankets, there was no issue of eligibility and ineligibility. Why is it? Because why is it that now it becomes, if it is money, there is an issue of eligibility and ineligibility. While if it is food parcel, even when we were receiving food parcels, there was nothing of eligibility and ineligibility. Receiving mats when they called us in the month of July last year to receive mats and blankets, there was no issue of eligibility and ineligibility. Why is it, if it becomes to food parcel or items, there is no narrative of eligibility, but when it comes to money, the issue of eligibility is coming. So we really don't understand, because it is the same donors. And by the way, if there is no enough funds for all the refugees, still, Article number 3 in the Refugee Recognition and Control Act, a law is a law. Article 3 remains, it shouldn't be violated because there are not enough funds. If the funds are not enough, still it should be divided according to the number of refugees. There should be no discrimination whatsoever.
Let me give you this scenario. It's a practical thing. You see, every week, the district hospitals are sending thousands of patients to Windhoek.
Yeah.
Why? Because the hospitals in the district are not capacitated.
Yes.
So, look, the government was supposed to at least decongest Windhoek by building, let's say, a hospital, a referral hospital in Otjiwarongo, for example. The money was allocated, it was about 900 million. The fence, the land was given, the fence is elected. But these guys, because they are not experiencing that first-hand information, they cannot even support the budget.
Yeah.
So for me, at this point, whether they are going to be in a separate queue, I know the service will be the same. If you are in I know you can't have a separate pharmacy which is well equipped for the elite while the public is suffering without medication. We can't have that.
Or we won't. I mean, we can if we decide.
No, we are not going to allow it.
Oh.
We are not going to allow it.
Okay.
So everyone who is going to receive the state service, it must. And we are talking about universal health coverage.
Yes, yes.
And one component about universal health coverage is equity.
Yes.
So how are you going to balance the two if you are talking about equity and we are still creating another elitism?
But the argument is that some people's time is more important because they make decisions that affect everybody. So they can't wait in line the same like you or I. And it's more harmful to the country if they get sick than if you get sick or I get sick. So they need their medicine.
So there are people who are more important than others. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it seems
whose life is more precious than others.
This is the system that we are bringing in.
Are you saying a teacher who is standing in the queue is not important to the kids who were supposed to be taught at that moment?
I'm just
because it is the ED.
I'm just airing the argument that has been put forward for the reason why not everybody is going to be made to stand in the same queue.
No, we are not going. And one thing about the healthcare professionals,
yes,
they took an oath, and that in that oath is to say we are going to treat everyone equally,
yes,
regardless of their social status, political status, economical status,
yes,
race, creed, everything. We view you as a patient, and every patient must be treated equally. The only time we take you from the queue is when we see that your condition needs emergency. That is what we call triage.
Yes.
We have to triage and make sure. But that thing of saying, no, this one is, his time is more important, this one is, we don't work like that. And we are going to call on all the healthcare workers to uphold that oath that they took. No special treatment.
Yeah.
If you come as a politician, go in the queue.
Yes.
Join the queue like everyone.
Every life is valuable.
Every life is precious, is valuable.
Yeah.
You can be valuable in parliament, but I'm valuable to my family.
Yes.
If I die, they cannot survive.
I hear you.
So that one, we are not going to allow it to happen.
Can you help me to understand? All of these government workers, they are on CIMAS, and they have deductions from their salaries which go to pay towards medical aid costs, which they can then use. And now they are going to be required to visit state healthcare. But state facilities are subsidized. And normally when an individual goes to a state healthcare, the cost to me is much less. So how is it going to work? Has it been explained to you? Can you explain it to us? Where does the extra money go? Or I don't quite get it.
Those are administrative issues, and as I said, we were not really consulted deeply in that angle, so it might be difficult for me to explain. Okay. What we are saying is that we are supporting the policy that is going to be implemented, and we want it to be implemented fully and to be supported by everyone. And also the government must not just give us something that give us a false hope.
Yeah.
We want serious investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know it did not start last month. It is a process that I think the government has been undertaking, and they did their research. So they must not fail us in this regard.
Tell me, some of your members must be senior in their own organizations, and also they'll have medical aid. Will they also be willing to go to these same public services that everybody goes to, even your seniors?
No, it's a matter of individual can have different opinions.
Yes.
Individual, how you feel about, but like as I said, I doubt if there is a healthcare worker who will be against this policy. Yeah, because we know this public health sector was neglected because this elite, the lawmakers, were not feeling the pinch.
Yes.
And the burden was more on the healthcare workers.
Yes.
You have to stretch yourself. There are no equipment, there are no medication. And it also takes a toll on your mental health.
Yes.
It's because you see that this patient was supposed to be treated with this medication. Could this medication be here? This patient's lives could be saved properly and timely.
Yes.
But because those medications are not there, this patient unfortunately has to lose his or her life.
Yes.
So I doubt if there is any healthcare worker who will be really against. I know we have different understanding and opinion,
Yeah.
and it's a democratic state.
Yes, we are.
We can define, and it's also part of how we grow as a society.
Yes, yes.
So we need to engage more.
Excellent.